And I'm back with another video. This right, D-Life Fair. Welcome to another passive income video. Crew members and passengers, that's right, your skipper on board the Passive D-Life Express is here. Looking at the charts again. Rubbing those hands again. That's right. Have you ever seen a chart like this, crew members and passengers? I mean, started from here, went all the way down here, and back up within the same year. Past performance does not predict future performance, but we do know that that past performance surely had went down, and now they're right back up where they left off from. You've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, crew members and passengers. That's right, we are looking at Hedron. Hedron, if I'm pronouncing it the correct way. Why am I looking at Hedron? Well, 1, the chart, 2, the price, and 3, the potential, and 4, new blockchain, new platform / project alert on the Passive D-Life Express, trying to bring at least 2 to 3 new platforms / projects every month. You've seen it now on the Passive D-Life Express. If you haven't heard about it, now you know about it. That's right, today's video is not financial advice. Neither is it financial advice. It's only education and entertainment purposes only. So let's hop on into Hedron and take a look at what it is, how does it work, and how can we possibly use it to make passive income. There goes nothing. And boom. Take advantage of your Hex stakes, maturity, trade it now, borrow against it, get free liquidity. That is what we're talking about. We're talking about Hex and Hedron, crew members and passengers. Using your Hex and using your Hedron. Using your stakes maturity, because you know you got to stake your Hex, and you can trade it, and you can borrow against it, and you can get free liquidity. Are you kidding me? This definitely is a project that will be added to the PDL engine room. We're going to be featuring this on another video. Today is just the introduction to this token / platform on the Passive D-Life Express. So make sure, don't forget to click the bell and leave a like. That's right, I almost forgot. And don't forget to leave a comment. In the comments, type in HED. That's all you got to do for Hedron. Let's hop into some more details. So quickly, let's just start off with the documentation. They've already got the audit done. So that is always cool for a token or platform that has already got their audit. Audit was done by, let's see, is this what I think? Yes, it is no other than Certac, the big Certac. So you can go ahead and check out the audit. Audit has a lot of details. We don't have time to go through that in full on the channel. So yeah, definitely will not be doing that. But shout out to Hedron for having an audit. But most important of all, we got to look at the white paper. Let's look at the white paper. Let's scroll through the main purposes. So as you can see, did you know why? Pulse chain. That's right. Hex in the pulse chain. Spoiler alert, this week, stay tuned. Spoiler alert. So, Hedron's contracts have been deployed to the following Ethereum / Pulse chain addresses. So, these are the addresses for the contracts. That's the Hex Stake Instant Manager, Hex Stake Instance, and Hedron. Note, Hedron days move forward at midnight UTC, the same time as Hex days. So, let's go with the contract guide. Hedron is comprised of 3 major features: minting, borrowing, and tokenized Hex stakes. There is no buy-in to Hedron and no sacrifice phase. The only way to participate in Hedron is to already have a Hex stake or to create a new one. All smart contracts will collectively build the Hedron ecosystem. All smart contracts which collectively build the Hedron ecosystem are immutable and have no admin keys. So hopefully nobody will be going through the back door. That's a great thing. If the back door is locked and sealed, that means that we shouldn't be getting any bugs. I don't want to say it too loud because you know how that goes. The tongue could be a little powerful sometimes. So minting, both instance stake hex wrap inside an HSI contract, and native stakes, standard hex stakes made directly to the hex contract can use this feature. Read the section titled the tokenized hex stakes for more information on the HSI contracts. So minting will grant the hex staker Hedron ERC20 tokens based upon how many B shares, 1 billion shares, in close parentheses open, the stake has been allocated and how many days the hex staker has served within the stake. There are no obligations to minting. These tokens are freely minted and can be used however the miner sees fit. The math is as follows. So the amount of Hedron minted equals the hex stake, quote unquote, B shares, and the amount of days served and the days already minted. So that is how we are going to, calculate that. So for example, let's say your hex have a stake with 100 B shares that has served 500 out of 5,555 days, and you're minting for the first time. When you execute the mint function, this will plug into the equation as follows. There we go. 50,000 Hedron equals 100 B shares times 500 days served dash 0 days already minted. If you were to serve 100 more days in the hex stake and call the mint function again, this is what would plug into the equation. 10,000 Hedron equals 100 B shares and 600 days served. So that's the extra 100 days on top of the 500, and then we'll have 500 days already minted. Okay, so yeah, different calculation there. So let's keep it moving. So we cannot mint more than the amount of servable hex days. So in this example, after minting for 5,500 days, there will be no more Hedron to mint for this particular hex stake. To continue minting, you would have to either use a different hex stake or end the current hex stake and create a new one. So this is some interesting use cases here. So all this is new to me. None of this is rehearsed. I will be getting more deeper into this token, its tokenomics, and the platform. And so let's see how everything will go as we continue to preview this. And I continue to do more DYOR in order to understand and utilize this token. It looks very interesting. So, tokenized hex stakes only. Instance stakes, hex stakes, wrapped inside of the HSI contract, which of course I have to figure out what that is, can use these features. Read the section entitled. So let's go ahead and look at more. Hedron is capable of encapsulating a hex stake inside what we call a hex stake instance. Okay, so that is the HSI contract or HSI contract. So now we understand. That's why it's good to read in DYOR. This contract is a single-use solidary smart contract that has one purpose: to house a singular hex stake. These contracts are deployed and managed by the hex stake instance manager contract, or a core component of Hedron. When the hex stake inside an HSI contract is ended, the HSI contract itself is destroyed. So that is some interesting tokenomics for this token and this its use case. So very interesting that they would come up with this. Whoever created this, this seems very interesting. It is, because now that you have hex, not only you could use your hex to create more hex, but now you could use your hex in order to mint Hedron, which is another token, which could possibly maybe even become like another hex. Who knows? Everything is all speculative. It's not financial advice. So let's keep it moving for the white paper. Okay, so here we go. We got the minting advance, which is the borrowing. And we won't go too much into the borrowing. Let's just read. Borrowing in Hedron is similar to minting, but takes an opposite approach. Instead of requiring the user to have served days within the hex stake to be granted Hedron tokens, borrowing grants the user ends up. So front all the Hedron that they will have otherwise had to wait for it. We prefer to call this an advance and not a loan, because the user will be receiving the same amount of Hedron they would have normally received via minting. just without the associated weight. So interesting there. Another interesting option or dynamic borrowing. So borrowing I know was really big back last year with other platforms, DAOs for example, or centralized platforms. Using your crypto to borrow against it and just leveraging and doing all that other high risk, high reward stuff. But interesting. So there are three primary limitations placed on the hex stake when the borrowing action is performed. While there are unpaid installments on the borrowed hex stake, the hex stake cannot be ended. Okay. While there are unpaid installments on the borrowed hex stake, the hex stake cannot be tokenized. While there are unpaid installments on the borrowed hex stake, the hex stake cannot be minted against. So that's good. So probably you won't be able to, quote unquote, cheat in this system. Looks like they've got the tokenomics down pat a lot. So a lot more to go over here in the white paper, but just wanted to highlight some of those white paper notes. So let's get moving now. We don't have to go through the documentation. Let's go back to the home page and let's read up some more. So what is Hedron? Hedron is a collection of the smart contracts that live on Ethereum, the post-chain blockchains. We know that. And it's built on top of Hex, so that is awesome, to allow stakers to mint and borrow Hedron tokens against their active Hex stakes. So it gives your Hex stake an extra utility. So if you got, which we will be doing, of course, staking our Hex and using our Hex stakes to get some Hedron and mint Hedron tokens. The borrowing part, not too, I don't think I want to get there yet. I just want to be able to get using the platform and using the token and earning the tokens and minting the Hedron. So how do I get Hedron? Hedron analyzes the hex stake and allows the staker to mint or borrow Hedron based on the amount of shares allocated to their stakes. If the staker emergency unstakes or otherwise ends their stake before minting their Hedron, they will no longer be able to mint Hedron against those stakes. Instance HSI, we do know what that is. With active Hedron, advances cannot end stake. All right, and the advance is paid in full. All right, the maximum amount of mintable or borrowable days is equal to the full term of the stake. All right, we did go over that. Let's keep it moving. How does the Hedron supply relate to the Hex share price? Hedron is an inflationary token. That's interesting because the Hex share price only increases over time. Hex stakes will continually have less shares allocated to them. The net effect of this is that as the Hex share price increases, the amount of mintable Hedron will decrease. Okie dokie. This is similar in effect to how mineable cryptocurrencies increase difficulty over time. That is definitely an interesting dynamic. And if you are a fan of mining, and we do know about the Bitcoin halving, for example, that happens every 4 years, the miners, that amount of Bitcoin that they're earning keeps getting cut down. So then that does make it, like I say, inflationary. So that is a very good dynamic. So not financial advice. This is definitely something that you probably want to get into while it's giving you a lot, because if you get in too late, then that means you'll probably be only earning a little bit of Hedron. So the sooner, definitely the better for D Life, not for anyone else, because we don't want to advise anyone into any project that could possibly be, super risky. I've never seen this before. I've never used it. So I just want to let you know my thoughts about that information right there. An inflationary token is definitely something that I could see myself acquiring, holding for the long term. So this could just be a possible, hold and, earn in the long term in value and intrinsic value play for me. Not necessarily of active interest or earnings play. But, if you're earning more Hedron, then it has a value. So it's somewhat of a passive income dynamic. So let's keep it moving. And of course, just my thoughts, not a financial advisor. So make the most of your hex stake. Mint, tokenize, or borrow using the Hedron DAPP. So this is a nice layout. It looks like it's going to give you a little like blueprint of how it works. So let's see. Okay, so you got your hex stake instance. Okie dokie. So this is the main guy right here. And you got your tokenized HSI. Says NFT, so maybe it's an NFT. Then we go to, let's see, this is very somewhat, not confusing, but if you're new to it, then it's going to be a little bit foreign. So you're going to transfer, and then you're going to have new ownership, and then you're going to detokenize. And then with the new ownership, you can come back and sell to the NFT marketplace, or you could then transfer. So let's keep it moving. Detokenize goes in left or right, and then let's go over here now. Unminted Hedron to include in the future NFT sales, okay? And the minted Hedron, tokenize HSI, mint Hedron, goes to the receive Hedron tokens, premium advances, buy liquidity stakes, and you got bonuses. So a lot going on here. I mean, I'm not even going to act like I understand it all the way, crew members and passengers, but definitely interesting. Gonna have to do a lot of reading on this. So what can you do with a head stake instance, which is a HSI? So definitely it is a blueprint of what you can do with it. And yeah, gonna have to go some more in depth with that. So here's another one. What can you do with a new or existing native hex stake? So this might be a little bit more simple. Let's see what we got over here. So start of a native hex stake. So this would be more for D-Life, and this could possibly be for some other, crew members and passengers, but D-Life right here. So start of a new hex stake, that will be me, mint Hedron based on the date of your shares of your original stake. And then you go to the native stake, which is gohex.com. Stay tuned to that video, spoiler alert. And then we'll mint our Hedron. Then after that, we get bonuses. Launch phase bonus, we got a 10x, 1x multiplier. And we got advanced to mint ratio bonus, multiplier, cool. And then we're going to be minting Hedron from its launch date. And we're going to receive those Hedron tokens. Next, what can we do? Premium advances, premium arm advances, buy liquidity stakes. So definitely buying the liquidity stakes sounds like something that I will be looking further into once we receive those Hedron tokens. What can you do with that new or existing native hex stake? So, going to be paying attention to this side much more for now, not until we get more in depth with this. So let's go on ahead and get this wrapped up. So Hedron benefits the Hex ecosystem by further incentivizing staking. So we do know a lot of platforms are moving to, not a lot of platforms, but proof of stake has definitely blown up in the space. And staking, of course, takes the tokens off of the market, and that also helps, organic price growth. So if you got a platform that or a token that is stakeable, it's a good thing, not bad at all. To mint the largest and the most consistent amounts of Hedron, stakers will have to stake larger quantities of Hex for longer periods of time. I got no problem with that. 300 days is definitely D-Life's way. The Hedron minting factor, so we know when the Hedron is minted 1-to-1 in relation to a particular Hex stake, so okay, that's okay. The tradable stake factor with Hedron, new stakes can be created and wrapped inside a single-use smart contract. We read over that in the white paper. Okay, here we go. The liquidation factor. Hedron advances which go into default 90 or more days without repayment can be sent to the auction by any other user of the Hedron protocol. When another user wins the auction by being the highest bidder, they will be able to claim the Hex stake used as collateral for themselves. Interesting. The original borrower can themselves then, the original borrower can bring themselves current with their payments at the point before the advance is brought to the auction to prevent this. Hedron is designed to prevent liquidations by allowing users to pay in advance or by allowing full payoff of the advance. That's great. We don't want to get liquidated. Okay, that's the Hedron borrowing factor. You got your bonus factor, and then you got the staker's first factor. The only way to obtain your Hedron directly through the contract is to mint or borrow against a hex stake. So we'll definitely be doing the minting. There is no way to directly buy or exchange any other currency for Hedron. So that is the cool thing with Hedron. Like they said, make it inflationary. Only hex holders, only hex stakers. So it definitely helps the hex ecosystem. And for those people who like borrowing, you can borrow. So yeah, win-win. If you're not doing anything with your hex stake, not financial advice, you could just come on over and mint some Hedron. Yeah, and I mean, look at this chart. This is crazy. I mean, they went all the way down here and right back up to all-time highs. Are you kidding me? Whew, amazing. Okay, so let's estimate our Hedron payout and let's get out of here. I think we've read over enough. I think we ran on enough. And we're going to just stay tuned to part 2 on this. Let's see how this works. So let's just say we got 300 days stake. And let's say we got 100 Hex B shares. And total DYOR served. Let's say we got 250 days served. And we got the 10x bonus multiplier. So we'll earn 275,000 Hedron. Not bad at all. Let's see what the price of Hedron is right now. It is 0.0000004. That's what it is. So a lot of zeros there. And I am correct. This is a million. This is a billion. So that's a trillion. So a lot of supply there. Enough for everybody to keep staking. And yeah, earning as much as you can. So this is Hedron. Introduction to Hedron on the Plastic D-Life Express. We could go through much more of these questions here, but again, I do not want to make this video any longer. This is just a introduction to Hedron on the Plastic D-Life Express. When we get into our hex and staking our hex, this is one use case for it. Minting, getting this token, getting as much of it as we can. Who knows where it will go? Maybe it might be 1 cent one day, but I can tell you this much. If it ever got to be 1 cent, with this circulating supply, it's going to be a major, major, major move. That's all I could say. I wish it was like 79 billion instead, but yeah, it is what it is. The good thing is we know that you can't swap it and you can't buy it. It's only minted by the hex stakers. So stay tuned to more updates with Hedron and some live actions, some live activations. Stay tuned to the rest of this week. You've already seen what the rest of this week is going to be about now. You got a sneak peek. That's right. It's going to be a hex week for the rest of this week and looking at more of all of its network and the blockchain. So this is D-Life here. Stay tuned to the next video. Stay safe. Hedron on the Passive D-Life Express. Over and out. Like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, choose all. Stay safe.